Alright, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to use an advanced plugin that I sometimes install on certain clients' websites. And you will know if you have this particular advanced plugin on your website in a couple of different ways. First of all, if you browse to a page or a post and you see two tabs here, visual and text, that's the traditional WordPress navigation that they give us. They give us the visual tab, which lets us, update things and make the text and whatever look the way we'd like it to look using the traditional interface. The text tab is also for those who understand how to manipulate HTML a little bit, gives them a little bit more advanced opportunities. If you just have two tabs here, then you do not need to watch this video any longer, because the PageBuilder feature is not installed on your website, and so you don't really need to worry about it. If you have three tabs, looks something like this: visual, text, and then one that's called PageBuilder, then you do have the advanced feature available to you. Additionally, if you browse to a page and instead of it looking something like this, allowing you to see a little bit of what it might look like when you actually go to the page, you see something more like this, that would also be an indicator that you have the advanced PageBuilder feature installed on your website, and you should continue to watch this video. Finally, if you wanted to, you could also browse to plugins, and you will see two plugins installed on your website. One is called Black Studio TinyMC Widget. The other one is called PageBuilder by Site Origin. Alright, so if you have this installed on your website, continue to watch, and I'm going to show you a little bit what this is and how you can utilize it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and come over here, and I'm using the Risen WordPress theme. This is a test site that I've created for training purposes, and this is kind of what the website looks like normally. I'm going to browse to pages and click Add New Page. And as I've already mentioned, you will notice three tabs over here: visual, text, and then the third one called PageBuilder. Now, you cannot go back and forth between visual and PageBuilder. If you are going to use the visual tab and have your content look something like this, that is fine and you can use it. However, halfway through building the page, you're not able to go over to PageBuilder and try to utilize both at the same time. So you need to start and decide right up front which of these two tabs you're going to use, if you're going to use the advanced feature or the traditional WordPress feature. Additionally, if you go to a page that looks something like this, then that means I've already built the page for you using PageBuilder, and you need to continue watching. Alright, so for this instructional video, I'm going to go ahead and create a new page. We're just going to call this, whoops, did not mean to do that. We're going to call this test page, and in just a moment our hyperlink will show up here. Our permalink will show up using the terms test page, and I'm waiting for that. Actually, I probably don't need to wait. And now, instead of using the normal visual interface here, I'm going to delete that text that I've already created, and I'm going to select PageBuilder. Now, when we go to the PageBuilder page, you will note that it starts off with what this is called a row. And there's a couple of buttons you need to understand. There's this Add Widget button, and there's an Add Row button. And you're going to be thinking a little bit differently about creating and building pages using PageBuilder than you would using the visual interface. So I'm going to actually delete this row by just selecting this little delete button here. There's a move button and a delete button, just to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. I'm also going to move these widgets over here to minimize confusion. So I'm going to go ahead and add a row. When I click on that button, it's going to give me a chance to decide how many columns I want. We'll start with one column. I'm going to select Add, and there's a row that has been added. I'm going to come over here and select Add Row again, and this time maybe I'll add 3 columns, and here's a row with 3 columns. And of course, you can continue to do this with as many columns as you want. Obviously, the more columns you get, the different it's going to end up looking when you finally publish the website. Alright, the other thing that would be good for you to know, I'm going to go ahead and delete this last column, is once you've created these rows, you have the ability to adjust how wide or narrow they are. And you'll see how that could be really powerful in a few moments. So you have adjustments and it shows you percentages down here. All right, now what this is, this particular advanced feature is it allows you to use your widgets that are installed on your WordPress website to create pages or posts rather than the traditional WordPress interface. And so I'm going to go ahead and click plus here, add widget. Now if you're not familiar with widgets, you're just going to have to experiment for a while to get familiar. Widgets traditionally are what show up on the sidebar of most people's website. So for instance, if I browse to children's ministry on this particular website, you will see the search this website and also check out. This is a widget that shows a menu, and this is a widget that shows a search bar. If I select media, again, there's widgets over here. This is a widget that shows categories, etc. All right, that said, we're going to come back over here, and that's what these are. These are widgets, but instead of utilizing them in a sidebar, we're actually going to utilize them to create our page. Now, traditionally, WordPress gives you a text widget. I'm going to go ahead and click on the text widget, and it's going to open up the interface. You will notice that this text widget does not give us very many options. I can give it a title, and I can give it some text, but if I want something to be bolded, for instance, I need to kind of know HTML to be able to bold things, and you know, most of us don't really get into having to try to write HTML to create things. That said, I'm going to go ahead and say save on that. You'll see my title and my text. We'll hit preview and see what has come up here. There's our test page, there's our title, and if you notice, I wrote text and no HTML bold. Now, interestingly enough, as I mouse over this, I can edit the work that I've already done, and you'll see here I actually wanted to hit a return, and I didn't because I didn't put in the proper HTML tags. And that's not really what I want to encourage you to do. I don't want you to have to know HTML, so we're going to delete that. Rather than using that, we're going to go back into widget, and we're going to use the Black Studio Tiny MCE. Now I know that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to most of you who are watching this, but if you add it, what you'll notice is it looks very similar to what you're used to when you try to edit a normal page. You've got the ability to add a title here. Here's my title, and you have the ability to add as much text as you want. You can also format things in unique ways. You can add images. You can add bullets. You can do all the things that you would normally do with a normal post, you know, that you would be doing, or a page with using the WordPress interface. So this is really very powerful, and you'll see how this works in just a moment. So I've gone ahead and I clicked done. I'm going to go ahead and hit preview. I'm going to look at my preview here in just a moment. And now you'll see that I've got all the things that I would normally want here. I've got my test page, my title, the text, and things are starting to format. It's a lot easier. Of course, at some point in time, we might want to set a featured image. If you're using the WordPress theme, that's what we would want to do, is have that featured image. And then as we preview, of course, we want to make sure that all of our pages look similar. And I've gone ahead and done that so you can see what it looks like. Now, let me just go ahead and look down here at this row with 3 columns, and let's add some more widgets so you can see how this is starting to get a little bit more interesting and powerful. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's look here what we've got, and let's go ahead and add another Black Studio Tiny MCE. And I'm not going to give this one a title. I'm just going to start adding random text. As a matter of fact, just for simplicity's sake, maybe we'll come over here and copy paste some text into here so that you can get a better idea of what we've done. And I'm going to paste that as plain text so that it doesn't paste in the formatting, and I'm going to select done. Oh wait, I wanted this over here. No problem, just going to drag it right on over. And then let's say, for instance, I have this cell, if you will, I want it to be almost the same text, and so I'm just going to click duplicate on this, and it creates another box. It's going to be an exact replica of what I already typed here, and it's over here. When I click edit, you will see the Black Studio TinyMC open up, and there's the things that I've already pasted. And now for this one, I can make some changes, do some different things that perhaps I didn't want to have in this section of the website. So now I've got these cells taken care of, and I got one final cell here. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and, just for fun, we're going to add a button. Now, the text of the button, we'll just say click here. The destination URL, we have to have one for it to work. So for right now, I'm going to just have it be my website at transformingleader.org. And I've got some other options I can look at here if I want, and done. Now, what I have done is I've formatted these different things the way that I think I want them. And of course, you understand that when you're building something from scratch and trying to be creative, you're going to be going back and forth over and over and over again until it looks the way you want. But as you can see, I've got this right here, which is the equivalent to this. And of course, we're not seeing a whole lot go across here because we didn't really add a whole lot in here. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more text in here so that we can see what that's going to look like when we preview. Alright, so here we go. So here's the first one that's just one column, and now we've got 3 columns. You'll see the button that I created here. When I click on it, it does work and take me to my blog. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, you know, I don't really care for the fact that this isn't lined up very well. And so what is it that I could potentially do to fix that? And this is where you start playing with the various features that you have. So for instance, maybe I'm going to click on this cell. I might come over here and say, well, let's add a Black Studio TinyMCE, but let's not put any text in it. Let's put it above it. Let's preview and see what happens. Now at this point in time, I'm literally experimenting while we're on this video to see if it's going to work the way I want it to. And let's say for some reason it doesn't work. No problem. Let's delete that button. Let's go into the Black Studio TinyMCE and let's go ahead and create a button in here using a button code that you can learn about if you're using the Risen theme in another video. Alright, so this is kind of the basics on how to do this. Again, if I adjust these different columns, and again, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Maybe we'll add a picture in here. We can add an image. And sometimes I add the image this way, and sometimes I'll literally just, again, duplicate and use the Black Studio TinyMC because I can do so much here with this. So for instance, I might come in here. I might say, let's go ahead and add media. Let's pop in a nice picture. Let's adjust that picture so perhaps it's not as big as I want it to be. I probably should have done that before I popped it in, but that's okay. And we'll click done. I'm going to click preview. And now we see that it has made the adjustments that I made. Again, because this image is huge, if I adjust this column, it's going to adjust the image. And if I want to, I can actually come into each of these items because I'm using the Black Studio TinyMC, which is my favorite use, my favorite widget to use, and I can give these a title. This is my small column title. Done. Edit. This is my wide column title. Done. And this is my picture title. Done. We'll go ahead and preview that and see what the changes have been made. And you'll see here it made the different titles. This isn't looking very good. I'd probably have to come in and make some adjustments to that. But overall, I think you get the idea. And of course, if you've already got a web page that is using these different features, then you're going to come in here and edit, add new widgets, delete widgets, duplicate widgets at will. All right, so that's the basics of how to use the page builder. I hope it helps you. Thanks for watching.